Don't look forward. Don't worry about the percentages. Everything is on the line. Must take care of business now.
Virginia wins the tip in the road blue. Wake Forest in the home gold.
Did you catch that? I said we. I was going
to give you a hard time. I'm going to give you one mulligan. You're mentioning mulligans. I'll give you one off the top. You know, we're coming up on the 30-year anniversary of that special week of the ACC tournament. So I'll cut you some slack.
I appreciate
as
that.
Virginia opens the score. You mentioned it. This is a Cavaliers team that won 4 of 5 before losses to Duke and North Carolina. They've been playing their best basketball of the season. Demon Deacons starting 5 as they look to bounce back after that tough loss at NC State over the weekend. Right down the lane, Hunter Sallis hammers it home.
Talk about two pretty good defensive teams. Lapses on the first possession both ways. That time, Cavaliers' biggest problem is containing the dribble. Got to find a way to, it's not a good sign. Got to find a way to contain the basketball.
But Virginia defensively has given up the paint this season a lot more than in years past. Dai Dai Ames, pull-up pop, draws the foul. Now, Ames has come on really strong in the last 6 games. He has been a focal point.
Hunter Sallis has to have more bodies in front of him in the basket. That time is too easy. He turns the corner, and at his size, you've got to get in front of him. Good sign for the Deeks with Hunter Sallis getting to the rim early.
And that spins off the rim. It was halfway down from Ames. You mentioned the last 6 games, 15.5 points per game, shooting better than 50%. This is a big reason why Virginia's improved on the offensive end, him coming alive.
He's the one guy Coach Sanchez allows to shoot mid-range jump shots. And now having a point guard on the floor, he gets Rohde back to help with ball handling, so he doesn't have one guy that has to dominate the basketball. And that point guard matchup for both teams is huge. Wake's had its fair share of issues at the point guard spot, finding some consistency throughout the season.
Cam Hildreth sends it down low to Spillers, and he is fouled before Efton Reed tipped it in.
Wake's doing a really good job of getting their bigs the ball on the move. They have to, because you know coming in, Virginia's going to trap the post if you try to play through post-ups. Getting Spillers on the move, who's been, I think, great for the Deeks, one of their unsung heroes. His activity.
I think particularly in the rebounding department, when Wake is at their best, they're winning the battle on the glass. They lost it on the road to NC State. Big reason they lost that game.
Well, I think it's been an issue the last couple of games. Wake on the season is losing the rebounding battle. They've given up 10 or more offensive rebounds the last 3 games. And the one game they won, they gave up 17. And that was at LSU. So both teams have struggled to rebound in the basketball. Be interested in who can shore that up throughout the game.
Wake Forest certainly looking to get off to a better start than they did Saturday. Fell down 11-0 in that game. Virginia wants to get back to winning ways after back-to-back losses. Elijah Saunders knocks down the triple.
This is a different team because, one, they've gone back to their mover block. And what made Tony Bennett offense so great is just you have to guard everyone on the floor. It's constant movement, constant screening.
Efton Reed cleaning up the spill on the offensive glass. And you're right, you mentioned the switch with their offensive philosophy. It spurred those 4 wins in 5 games. And even in the losses to Duke and North Carolina, a lot more competitive in those losses, particularly against Duke, a top team, than they were in the losses earlier in the ACC play. This is a team in Virginia that only finds itself a half game back of the 9 seed, which would give them a first-round bye in the ACC tournament. And yet it's so congested there that they still haven't even secured a spot in that tournament. A win tonight on the road would go a long way for Ron Sanchez and this Virginia team.
Well, we talk so much about it, but both teams are playing for something. You're playing for seedings in the ACC tournament. Even the Deeks, they're playing to get the double bye.
McKneeley wide open. Usually will make you pay. Misfires there.
There's got to be some better communication for the Deeks on the weak side. You don't want to leave ACC percentage-wise best 3-point shooter open.
Reed Posting up, they floated to him and a foul called. The freshman Jacob Kofi forced a foul. Reed. Efton Reed could be a problem tonight against a very young and, you know, for ACC standards, weaker front line that Virginia presents.
Well, it's an inexperienced front line. I mean, he's a veteran guy with a physical advantage inside, and you see they're trying to front when possible, because if they get caught behind, they're going to come and double. Efton Reed does a really good job when he faces up, passing out of the double team, so they're going to try to front him so they can keep him matched up on the weak side.
And this young front court a little depleted tonight without Anthony Robinson. Spillers catches in with a flush underneath.
Cam Hildreth with a great screen there. He leveled Sanders. Got Spillers a free bucket. That's something that'll show well on film.
McKneeley, backdoor pass, finds Rohde for an easy finish.
They've had that opportunity a few times, and that's part of when we're talking about the move of blocking. You worry about the three-point shooting. It's the backdoor cuts and rim cuts. Got to be careful of.
Nobody picks up Hildreth, and that's an easy lay-in for two.
Two teams that have struggled on the offensive end of the floor, not having any troubles here to start. It's easy baskets at the rim.
A couple of defensive breakdowns for both teams early. McKneeley fading away. He hits it.
He is a difficult shot maker and has that in his game. And Dai Dai Ames being on the floor with him alleviates the pressure.
Wake gets into the lane again. Hildreth can't finish it. Ames pulls up and knocks it down. Virginia back-to-back baskets to go up by 3 early.
This is a confident team. This team is playing better. They feel comfortable with where they are right now. And
Sallis answers on the other end.
You let him get there, it's money. That's his shot. He gets to that ACC, it elevates. It's good in mid-range games as you'll see in college basketball. Right now, both teams defensively are spread out. Everybody's worrying about their man. It's got to be more of a group, multiple guys defending the basketball, not just guarding your man.
Saunders lines up the 3. Rolls off, no good.
Even that shot, that's a good shot. Teams are missing. They're not making each other miss.
Saunders gets up and swats it away, denying Reed. Up ahead, Tane Murray scoop to the hoop for 2.
2 turnovers on the Deeks, trying to force the ball inside. That's a difficult pass, trying to throw it over the top.
Virginia's connected on 4 of their last 5 shots, and the 1 miss was a wide open look. Getting what they want on the road early against a Wake Forest team that is the last team in Joe Lunardi's projected field of 68. A must-win tonight for the Demon Deacons here at home. Cam Hildreth delivers at the end of the shot clock.
There's no shot blocking on the floor for the Cavaliers. So Deeks should just put their head down and attack the paint. There's a size advantage inside, and there's no rim protection for the Cavaliers.
Not often you could say that going against a Virginia team in the last decade. But they have struggled to get in front of offensive players this season. And a foul.
Years or so, they want to finish the year off strong.
Reed comes up empty on the out-of-bounds play. Wake Forest, before that miss, had made 6 of their first 8 shots, 75%, and yet trailing by 1. Neither of these teams can seem to get a stop.
What you got to be concerned about the Deeks is, again, your guards are going to spend a ton of energy guarding the basketball.
Foul called on the freshman Juke Harris. Reached in on McKneeley.
You do so much chasing, and it's this non-stop movement. And for guys like Hunter Sallis and Cam Hildreth, they play 35+ minutes a game, and they're going to be doing a lot of chasing on top of the offensive load that they have to carry for the Deeks.
Hunter Sallis has played 158 of the last 160 minutes in the last 4 games for Wake Forest. Can't afford to keep him off the court. He's guarding McKneeley here. McKneeley got a shot off but misfires.
Great job by Hunter Sallis there, chasing him up the screen, staying in front of the basketball, and making McKneeley shoot a contested 2.
Shot clock down to 10. Here's Jukaris backing down Tain Murray. Kicks out for Sallis. Sallis in attack mode. Pull up, pop, sticks it.
Good a shot as you'll see there. He gets to that ACC line, it's money. You can count it.
He is a perfect 3 for 3. And Wake Forest has not even attempted a 3. They have had their way going inside on Virginia.
As they should. 0 rim protection for Virginia.
Buchanan leaves it for Murray. Easy, uncontested layup.
Both teams are struggling to have 5 guys guarding the basketball right now.
What do you attribute that to?
I think it's because of just Virginia's worried about the Deac size inside. You can see they're trying to run their offense after Reed is.
That was a pass to Reed, and it goes in for 3. Hildreth can't believe it.
Hey, he'll claim it. It's a 3. It goes in the book as a 3. We're going to count it as a shot. So bad of a pass, it was a good shot. Whatever it takes for the Deacs to knock in a 3, is what Cam Hildreth says.
McKneeley answers with a 3 on the other end and fires Virginia back in front.
You've got to get up on the ball screen with him. You cannot be back in the paint. After reading these guys, I know what you're thinking. You got to help on the back cut, but you also got to be up on the ball screen when McKneeley has the basketball.
Hildreth that time did successfully get it to Reed. Ames spins his way free, lays it up and in. So crafty, Dai Dai Ames.
Great move, great finish. With another turnover there by the Deacs, they've got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball.
Rejection at the rim and a foul called. Tain Murray, Jukaris. Here's the deal. He's typically right. So I don't know if that's good news or bad news for Wake Forest. The good news is right now you are projected in the field. The bad news is there's bid stealers that'll come during Champ Week, and you don't have any margin for error unless you beat Duke on Big Monday.
And again, being the last team in is something you don't want to be, because again, that's the first team that gets bumped by bid stealers.
Right.
And that's gonna happen. So you got to come out with a sense of urgency and take care of business. It's just what the Deacs must do. Everything that they want to achieve is in their hands.
And right now, trailing by 2, Virginia playing very well offensively, shooting 64% from the field. Sharma has to hoist it. Good defense there out of the timeout by Wake Forest.
You want to see more of that for the Deacs. There just hasn't been much resistance. But again, like we talked about, this is a different Virginia team. They're not 10-0 to the basketball one. They're gonna get good shots up. You have to force them to miss shots.
There's Sallis working against Andrew Rohde. Shot clock down to 6. Comes up short on the 3.
That's a shot I like to see Hunter Sallis continue. Stay in attack mode. Don't settle again. There's no rim protection for Virginia. Got to the paint at will. Just continue to drive the basketball like that.
McKneeley on the drive. Largest lead of the night for Virginia.
And Wake has gone with Omaha Blue with the 5, so they're playing small ball.
And Sallis, that mid-range showing off again.
It just, every time he gets it, get downhill, get in the paint. As good a mid-range game as you'll see in college basketball, there's never a reason for him to settle, and particularly in a game like this. When you're playing against a team and you identify early, there's no one to alter your shot when you get in the paint.
And Virginia has shown no resistance to it.
No.
Saunders double teamed, muscled it, everything but the finish. He lost the ball right as he was about to throw it down. Saturday, Sonic Blockbuster on ABC, 1 Eastern Time. #1 Auburn in Lexington to take on Kentucky. You don't want to miss it. Auburn well on their way to being the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. Wake Forest just hoping to be the 68th team in the field. Last team in, according to Joe Lunardi. And do you think that affects the way a team plays? Just play a little tighter when you know there's no margin for error as Rohde panks it in.
All right, both teams had Hail Mary threes already in this game, so we're even.
Yeah, Hildreth, you missed it earlier, passed one in. He was looking for a lob to Efton Reed, and that floated in, and then Rohde banks a heave off the glass it in.
Yeah, there's not a bank in America open at 9 o'clock at night here. But again, both teams are playing well offensively. They're scoring. There's little resistance from either team, man. I don't know who it favors yet because both teams have had struggles on the offensive end of the floor.
But going back to what I asked you just before, Wake Forest, they read everything, right? They know that the loss to Florida State here at home was a dent in the resume. Then you lose to an NC State team that struggled this season. So they know their backs are against the wall. As you said, they're out of mulligans.
Yes.
And it just feels like they played a little tight here at home against Virginia so far in this first half.
Well, you can't avoid it. Everyone's talking about it. These kids are hearing it. They see it on Twitter, social media, or any platform that they're using. You hear it around town, like this community, this fan base. Everybody's itching for this team to get in the tournament. And it's just time. It's time for the Deacons to make a push and get in the tournament.
They've been knocking on the door.
You've
They've
been here
right
before.
there.
The last 4 years, you've been a bubble team, and it's just time to take a step and get in. And there's just no other way to say it.
Murray off balance, can't finish it.
But what you have to do is you got to trust the work you've put in. Confidence comes from preparation, and you can't have these type of turnovers there. They're unforced. They're just careless with the basketball. And again, the difference is that Virginia doesn't turn the basketball over.
Kofi rocks the rim. How about the freshman, Jacob Kofi?
It's another penetration again. With this lineup, Wake has, they're small now. And there's no rim protection for either team. You just got to drive the basketball. And
Virginia has quieted this late-night crowd. A 6-point lead on the road for the Cavaliers. Hildreth comes up empty. Wake has only made 1 field goal in the last 5 minutes. Right back to Kofi. Open again, and Spillers was late to get there and commits the foul.
that's just a bad defensive possession there. Not coming back, not matching up, not communicating, but down. And that's been the side of the floor that they've leaned on all year long, that's carried them. And right now they're struggling at the end of the floor. And they're searching for answers right now because they're giving up everything. They're giving up, they're not communicating with defensive end. And the shots that Virginia has missed, there's only been a couple possessions where the Deacons have played really good defense. As good as Virginia's shooting, they've missed a couple of wide open shots.
Who's sharing the ball very well in this first half. 8 of their 12 makes have been assisted. This is their largest lead of the night. Wake Forest in an 8-point hole. We've said it throughout the night. No margin for error for Wake Forest. If they want to go dancing finally under Steve Forbes, they've got to win all their home games, says our bracketologist Joe Lunardi. Starting with tonight, here's Sallis. He's been money in the mid-range. Muscles it up, didn't get a clean look. Tapped out to Ames. And Virginia slows things down. It's been played in Virginia's pace in this first half. And the Cavaliers have been terrific offensively, shooting 60% from the floor. Kofi draws the foul again. Young Jacob Kofi has had a phenomenal first half.
Virginia's playing with confidence and they're patient. They're getting the shots, they're getting the ball to their spots. The Deeks are playing a little bit too much one-on-one.
A frustrating first half for Steve Forbes, particularly on the defensive end. Our ESPN Thursday primetime women's basketball doubleheader tips off 7 Eastern on Tobacco Road, North Carolina and Duke. And then it's the reigning champ, South Carolina at Ole Miss, an ACC SEC doubleheader on Thursday.
Now, if you're Wake Forest, just settle down, run your offense, rely on your execution, ball movement. Don't try to dig into this lead yourself. Don't try to make plays on your own. Just run your offense.
2.5 minute scoring drought for the Deacs. And a foul call on the floor. And Virginia had the foul to give.
That's why I think the Deacs can run their offense through Efton Reed a lot more. He's a really good passer. He's looking over top of this double team, and when he knows it's coming, he knows where his weak side, where his cutters are coming from, and he's a really good passer.
Sallis gets to that ACC logo and cashes in again.
Money shot. I mean, he gets there. I mean, you can count him. You've got to try to keep him out the middle of the floor, pin him on the side. He gets to the middle of the ACC. That's just as high a percentage shot as you can find.
The scoring has not been the problem for Wake Forest in this first half. Can they finally string together some stops?
Someone else has to step up because he's doing a lot of chasing this into the floor, and that'll take his toll in the second half.
Buchanan's free, flies to the rim and misses it. Well, the Wake Forest defense will get a stop any which way. And they go on the other end. Cam Hildreth, defense into offense.
Yeah, you get a stop, you get a chance to push it and get some easy baskets, but still got to be concerned. That's a point-blank layup that was just missed.
That rims out from McKneeley. Here comes Hunter Sallis, leaves it for Johnson.
Attack the paint, play off two.
Mismatch. This is the layup, though.
Yeah, keep attacking the paint, play off 2 feet. It's a good shot, he got to the rim. This is the end of the floor for the Wake Forest if you want to take control of this game. Defensive end has to pick up.
Saunders in attack mode, spins into Spillers, and a travel.
I don't know where the Deacs would be without Trayvon Spillers. I mean, his motor, his activity, what he's brought to the defensive end of the floor, offensive rebounding. He has been as consistent of a player that they've had outside of Hunter Sallis.
Hildreth has a step, trying to kick it to the corner. Ricochets to Sallis, lines up the 3, can't hit it.
Good possession with the Deacs. That you take those shots. There's one thing I think the Deacs have missed with a guy like Goopy Miller was Hunter Sallis' 3-point percentage has struggled some because he hasn't gotten looks like that.
Right now, Wake Forest with their backs against the wall, trailing by 5. Virginia's looked real good in this first half on the road.
Athletes get through doing his time here. He means and meant the world to me getting through Wake, and honored to call him a friend. And he also could add one more record. He'd be the all-time leading scorer if he was allowed to play as a freshman.
Oh,
back
wow.
then, they could play.
That's right.
Yes, and no 3-point line.
Oh, he would have had it comfortably.
But I pick on him because I say he's from New York. So he's from New York. He can't shoot anyway because New York guards can't shoot. So,
well, you certainly.
Charlie, I love you.
You didn't want to get into a free throw shooting contest with him.
I did not at all.
87% career. Wow.
Yeah, he could play. He was a great one. Unbelievable human being.
Right now, Demon Deacons trailing by 5. Rohde
Wow.
puts Hildreth on the floor and buries it. Andrew Rohde. And that sums up this first half for Virginia.
Yeah, I thought he was going to wave at him, tell him to get up out there.
I'll tell you what, this is a Cavaliers team that has picked up where they were before the losses to Duke and North Carolina. They had won 4 of their last 5. They had found their best basketball of the season. And this has been a statement first half against a desperate Wake team.
Wake is scoring the basketball. They just got to get stops. Offer a little bit more resistance, and that's too easy.
McKneeley, nothing but the bottom of the net. Buries another one. ESPNU all ACC matchups. Still to come, SMU at Cal. SMU battling on the bubble. You know, Wake Forest got that huge win at SMU. And yet during a 3-game stretch where you go on the road, play SMU, have Florida State here at home, and NC State on the road, you lose 2 of those 3, and the one you won was the hardest of the 3. And now you're struggling again at home, down 8 to Virginia.
It's okay to lose some games in the conference, right? In a normal year, in a normal time, but we're just not in that. And I think it's their November's win-loss schedule, not beating A&M, not beating Xavier, not winning some of those games earlier. I think it's put so much pressure on this team late in the year, and that's a lot to overcome. And this team has been great in conference play in these last couple of years, but however you feel about the ACC, it's just you know, they're not getting enough teams in the tournament. And right now they're going to be lucky if the ACC can get 4 teams in. And Wake's been that team that's been right there, but they've lost those type of games, and you can't help but feel the pressure as a player.
And Steve Forbes told us it's Groundhog Day. He's been living this for the last 4 seasons, where you get to the end of February, beginning of March, you're right on the bubble, and they have failed to do what it takes. Wave off that Andrew Rohde 3, foul on Kofi for setting an illegal screen. Here's the thing for Wake. 2-possession game, you're only down 6 despite all the success Virginia has had offensively in this first half. Still an opportunity to come back and win this game.
And I don't think that's a foul. I just think Cam Hildreth was selling the foul because he was beat on the screen, and great play by him. But Kofi was standing there for that screen, and it looked like a legal screen.
Double team. Reed passes out of it. Finds Hildreth. Open 3. Can't connect. Offensive rebound. Keeps it alive. Travel. Ty-Lord Johnson indecisive there. Caught between a pass and a shot, and he turns it over.
Yeah, that's another one of those unforced turnovers there. You got to get up shots against this team because Virginia, like we talked about, they don't turn the basketball over. And you have got to get up shots. Right now, they're scoring the basketball, but this is being played at the pace that they want. And there hasn't been really a lot of resistance. They just miss shots.
Kofi tries it and hits.
That is within his range. He can make that 17-foot pull-up jump shot. And Virginia has a high-low action themselves.
Cavaliers shooting 60% in this first half. Hunter Sallis, big-time 3, nothing but the bottom of the net.
What you want to see as a defense, Hunter Sallis staying in attack mode. Just a much better shooter, I think, from behind the 3-point line, off the catch. So much more efficient offensively when he's off the ball and really aggressive.
McKneeley answers on the other end. Isaac McKneeley. Use it or lose it, timeout for Isaac McKneeley. 3 made threes in this first half. He's got Virginia up by 8 on the road against a desperate Wake Forest team fighting for their NCAA tournament lives. Their resume cannot afford a 3rd loss in 4 games. Sallis pull-up pop, missed it. He's had 13 points in this first half, but can't finish that one.
Yeah, Virginia went to a zone that time, and Deeks had a good shot. I thought Hunter Sallis should have stepped into that 3 and taken it instead of taking the mid-range jump shot.
Ames, step back 3, drills it. Dai Dai Ames, and Virginia finishes this first half shooting light.
State performance when you gave up 13 threes, you didn't defend the way you needed to be, and that was your calling card on the season. That's a disappointing half on the defensive end. You have 20 minutes to come out and compete on the defensive end of the floor. You can't allow this Virginia team that has struggled offensively all year to shoot 63% from the field. They've had their way. They've really had little resistance. You'll score enough points to win. Can you get enough stops to win?
20 minutes to save the Wake Forest season. Come up empty on the opening possession. Virginia, don't let the score fool you. This was played at their tempo. They were just highly efficient. 63% from the field. That would be a season high. And Andrew Rohde picks up where the Cavaliers left off. They lead by 13.
Again, it's another easy shot. Defender trailing. Just not much resistance there. That's been a theme of the first half. And it's carrying over into the second half.
Now, Randolph, I don't want to be too critical of Steve Forbes and Wake Forest, but you would not know by looking at the way they've played energy-wise that this was a do-or-die game for them.
Well, they have to bring the energy. You can't rely on the fans. That's the nervous crowd from the fans, the nervous energy from them. You have to come out and play. And my concern for them is that just the defensive end of the floor. Offensively, they're fine. They still shot themselves over 54%. They will score enough points to win. It's just this end of the floor, they're not offering enough resistance. You cannot trade baskets. Because tonight, this UVA team is making shots.
Isaac McKneeley leading the Cavaliers with 13. Dai Dai Ames, he was brilliant in the first half. Going to work again. Finds Saunders, open three. Got it!
I don't even know what to say. It's just been the same thing every possession. I mean, it's just an open look out there, an open look.
And as you said, Wake Forest keeps answering on the offensive end, but they can't string together stops to close this gap.
Wake on the offensive end of the floor, continue to attack the paint. There's no shot blocking. Turn the corner here, Tyler Johnson gets to the rim, takes the contact, gets a chance to get to, as I say, the favorite saying in basketball in general is, and one! He finishes.
His first bucket of the night, making a three-point play. Virginia still in the driver's seat at the start of this second half, though, an 11-point lead.
Now they're going with their zone, and again, with the shooting from Virginia, you got to be concerned about it.
Scramble for the ball. Spiller's on the floor. Jump ball. Possession arrow stays with Virginia.
Steve Forbes trying to do something different. Knows his team needs a boost. Going to his 1-3-1 zone. And Virginia was talking to us about it earlier. They were telling me they were concerned about the zone because they weren't sure if they were going to be making shots.
Oh, they're making them.
Well, they're making them tonight.
Shooting 64% from the field.
A lot of time left.
Not on the shot clock, though. Shot clock down to 2. McKneeley doesn't realize it, and that's a violation.
Great defensive possession there by the Deacons. String them along. Defensively, they play off what they call kills, meaning 3 in a row. How many stops can they get? Deeks need to challenge themselves on the defensive end of the floor. How many kills can they get to take control of this second half?
Johnson feeds to Reed, and he's fouled. So Efton Reed heads to the line for 2 free throws.
The fouls are starting to pile up for the Virginia front line. Be interesting to see. Yeah, well, Coach Sanchez go to zone himself to try to protect his bigs.
And we mentioned it early in the first half, but Virginia without Anthony Robinson tonight, so a depleted front court. And Kofi and Buchanan each with 3 fouls. And
that's why I said, if you had Robinson, then you would have had a third body. You would have had 15 fouls for Hunter Sallis and Trayvon Spillers inside with these guys. And
if Wake Forest is going to come back, I think it's through Efton Reed.
Yeah, he'll get his fair share of touches because the double team's coming. How does he handle the double team? And Wake stays in that 1-3-1 matchup. They keep the ball out of the middle of the paint, but the corner threes are open if they continue to move the basketball.
And Virginia's hit 7 threes in this game so far. They come up empty on that possession.
I'd like to see Wake, when they get a rebound, push it in tempo.
Spillers can't pass out of the double team, regathers it in the corner. Johnson, step back 3, missed it.
I think if you Wake Forest again, said it several times, attack the rim. There's just not much resistance at the rim. The officials are called into contact, you're driving it, no need to settle.
24 of Wake's 40 points have been scored in the paint.
Let your threes come from dribble penetration. No need to settle at all.
And with all the success Hunter Sallis had early in this game, I would just have it all go through 23 and gold.
Well, that's the way it's been all year long. But again, he's spending a lot of energy. He's chasing like he's just McKneeley on this play. He has to defend and spend a lot of energy.
And McKneeley counted plus the foul. Gets the better of Hunter Sallis there.
And that's my concern for Wake Forest. It's because Hunter Sallis has to score, but he's chasing McKneeley. Does a great job of getting in front and cutting him off and trying to contest that fall away, but McKneeley gives it a shot fake, takes the contact, and one.
How many times are you going to do that in the second half?
Every time they do it.
12-point lead for Virginia. 3.5 minutes into the second half. Wake Forest with their backs against the wall. Hildreth down the lane. Nobody picked him up. An easy two.
It's not a complicated game. Continue to put your head down. Get to the rim. We talked about Virginia's front line. It's in foul trouble, and now this zone is causing Virginia some trouble.
Can Wake speed up the Cavaliers? They've played it at their pace thus far.
And remember, Kofi has 3 fouls. He can ill afford to pick up his 4th here.
Sallis, patient, now fires, can't connect.
I'd like to see Hunter Sallis take it the first time and no hesitation. Just stay in rhythm. Such a really good shooter in rhythm.
Rhythm 3 there. That's off the mark. Reed fouled on the rebound. The Wake Forest battling, but it's Virginia in control, a 10-point lead.
It was a good move. I don't need to be reminded it was 30 years ago, man. No, it's nothing like the ACC tournament. I don't care what they say. It's still the premier event. And in my opinion, it should remain in Greensboro. From here on out, I get all the moving around. Let's get that ACC tournament back in Greensboro and leave it.
Wake Forest fans watching this game, that might be the first time they've smiled tonight watching that crossover.
Well, they may have smiled at the defense. I mean, the offensive end for the Deeks, but they hadn't smiled at the defensive end of the floor. A lot of work to do, a lot of time here to play, but
the turnovers won't help.
They're unforced turnovers, and I think that's the concerning part, is that when you're pressing, that's of a team that's pressing.
Very similar way to how they lost the game on Saturday. Just felt like pressing tight. The energy just wasn't there on the defensive end of the floor. Good stop there.
Trust your work. Don't try to do it yourself. Dribble in the paint, pass it, create opportunities for someone else.
Hildreth cleans up his own spill.
I watch these guys practice that. When the bigs post up and their defenders behind, they seal it. Guards do a great job of dribbling past, getting to the rim and finishing. Deeks now are back into that zone.
Murray leaves it for Kofi, goes right into Reed and is fouled.
Great job there by Murray, flashing up behind Trayvon Spillers in the zone. Spillers is there trying to keep the ball out of the middle. That ball gets in the middle. Deeks got to race out to the corners to take away that 3. And in any zone you play, ball gets to the middle of the floor. Yeah. This is nothing you can do.
Yeah, you get it to that soft spot in the zone, and it's trouble.
You're scrambling at that point.
Juke Harris checks in for the Demon Deacons. Another thing Steve Forbes has to balance here is, more or less, he's been playing 6 guys. Yes, they extend it to 8 with Ballou and Fredrickson, but really it's a 6-man rotation for Wake Forest. And as you've said many times tonight, Randolph, the way Virginia's playing offensively, they're making them work.
Well, I worry about Cam Hildreth and Hunter Sallis because they're going to expend so much energy chasing defensively. That what would that do to them on the offensive end? Can someone else, can Efton Reed step up on the defensive end of the offensive end of the floor? Someone else got to carry him on the offensive end.
Goes right at Kofi, playing with 3 fouls. It's an 11-4 Wake Forest run to cut the Virginia lead to 7.
McKneeley got to look.
Didn't take it though. Rohde. Shot clock down to 10.
Great move. It's making this offense stagnant. They can't move it. It's forcing Virginia just to make shots now.
Shot clock down to 3. Murray has to hurry. Hook shot. Doesn't fall. Wake Forest finally stringing together some stops. Virginia has not made a basket in the last 3 minutes. It's allowed Wake to cut this lead to 7. So pushing and shoving between Rohde and Hildreth. Efton Reed getting in the middle of it. Tempers flaring here on a Wednesday night in the ACC. Steve Forbes way off his bench.
Most coaches know the moment right now, and the momentum is starting to shift back toward Wake, and Wake's playing hard, and Rohde didn't take kind, and he and Cam Hildreth's arms get locked up there.
Rohde and Hildreth tangled up. I don't think there's anything malicious there. Just two guys getting tangled up in the heat of the moment.
Hey, let's throw the ball out and play. The intensity of this game is just picking up. Love to see the fight. And actually, this could be a bad thing for Wake Forest because the momentum was starting to swing their way. And I think the last thing you wanted to see, if you're a Wake Forest fan, is just stopping action.
There's no foul on the dead ball activity. Wake Forest ball.
That's the right call. And they did it quickly.
Which is, I think, is critical. Take a peek, make a decision, let's go. Keep this game going, starting to pick up too.
Really feels like for the first time all night, Wake Forest has grabbed momentum in this game.
Well, they're generating some level of intensity, and the crowd now starting to get involved, and that allows you to feed off that a little bit. But now Virginia goes to their zone.
Spillers can't connect on the 3. Got a good look.
That's not the guy you want taking the 3. There's a guy named Hunter Sallis out there. He get the first shot, and then Cam Hildreth or Juke Harris.
McKneeley contested, and he buries it. They put it on the scoreboard as a 3. It'll be reviewed at our next TV timeout.
Virginia went to their zone, one possession. Now they're back to man-to-man. And again, don't settle. Attack the rim.
Sallis does just that in attack mode and delivers.
One thing the 1-3-1 does with size, Hunter Sallis is a big guard. It's forcing you to throw over the top.
Ames misses it.
Not a lot of ball movement. Zone has been really effective against Virginia, forcing them to settle, passing the ball around the three-point line and not attacking the paint anymore.
It's certainly taken Virginia out of their rhythm and allowed Wake Forest to capitalize just like that. Two-possession game. The Wahoos lead is down to 6. And the Wake Forest crowd comes to life for the first time tonight. Deep 3, McKneeley can't quiet the crowd.
The zone is frustrating Virginia.
Hildreth feeling it right now. He's got 17. Tried to pass out of the double team. Stolen away by Rohde. Rohde leaves it for Kofi, and he's fouled. Home fans don't like it. Jacob Kofi at the line when we come back. Virginia leading by 6.
Time, but you see the defensive intensity for Wake Forest pick up. Now the zone is a big part of that. It's eliminated all the ball movement and the penetration that Virginia was getting on the offensive end of the floor. They've gotten stagnant, the ball just moving from side to side. They're settling for jump shots, and it's allowed Wake to attack on the other end of the floor.
Steve Forbes with Wake Forest, they're not the only team playing for something. Obviously, the Demon Deacons right on that NCAA tournament bubble. Ron Sanchez told us, look, we feel like we can still secure a first-round bye in the ACC tournament, get up to as high as 8-9 seed down the stretch of this season. They have played like it tonight.
I told you this before. I think since they've gone back to their mover blocker offense, I think it settled them down. And I think they had issues with point guard play as Ames was adjusting. Rohde had missed some games. I think that the demise of Virginia's defense has been over-exaggerated. They're only giving up 66 points a game. They struggle scoring the basketball. And when you struggle to score, it just puts too much pressure on your defense. And Ron Sanchez won't panic in a situation. He has a calming demeanor about him.
Now, they scored plenty tonight, 57 points already. Over the last decade, 57 is usually good enough to win it.
Well, before the game was 60. Whoever got to 61st won. And usually that was Virginia.
Efton Reed, tough take on the inside to cut it to 5. For as well as Virginia has played offensively tonight, only one made field goal in the last 6 minutes for the Cavaliers. Rohde, deep three, hits it!
Great ball movement there. That time they passed the ball inside to get the Deeks to suck in the paint, lose shooters. You got to know where Rohde and you got to know where McKneeley is at all times in that zone.
Hildreth been very aggressive. Count it, plus the foul. Cam Hildreth.
Not a tougher player in Wake Forest basketball right now than Cam Hildreth. Just puts his head down, drives it again. No need to settle. Little resistance at the rim.
Cam Hildreth has taken over this second half. If he hits this free throw, he'll have 20. He missed it. Last 5 games, 21 points per game, and more of that tonight. He has turned into a consistent scorer down the stretch of this season.
Well, when you're a senior and you're running out of games, there's a level of desperation that takes over as well.
Murray open in the corner. He buries it. Back-to-back threes for Virginia, and the Cavaliers back up by 9.
Well, they're starting to find holes in that zone, knocking down back-to-back threes. Let's see if they stick with it. I think one more three. Forwards may be forced to go to their man-to-man.
Hildreth called for a travel before he knocks down the jumper. Everything going through Cam Hildreth offensively for Wake Forest right now. Defensively, you're right, great adjustment at first with the zone. Now Virginia back-to-back threes. A decision to be made by Steve Forbes.
All right, back, he's going to the man-to-man. Now you got to chase. You got to lock and trail and chase.
Virginia 9 of 18 from 3. Ames, knockdown jumper. Virginia can't miss right now.
Coach Steve Forbes is frustrated with his team right now. They just have not guarded well in their man-to-man.
Timeout, Wake Forest. This is now or never.
Well, it seems that way, that this game means this much, but again, it's not over. Plenty of time. And then again, if you lose this game, it puts all the pressure that you have to go win the game in Cameron at that point. But it doesn't matter because I don't think the Notre Dame game or the Georgia Tech game will be easy.
Efton Reed, a grown man move. Count it, plus the foul. Efton Reed dominating on the glass against an inexperienced and depleted Virginia front court without Anthony Robinson tonight.
That is a grown man rebound there. Fights the defender off. Get off me. Rebounds. It goes up strong.
And it's the 4th foul on Blake Buchanan, who is helpless. Efton Reed, he has willed Wake Forest in this second half.
If the guards just continue to drive the basketball, And if the bigs rotate over, there is no one stopping Efton Reed from cleaning up the glass. And so that's on the guards to continue to put pressure on the rim. But right now, they're backing their man-to-man. This Wake Forest team on the defensive end of the floor, they've got to guard. They've got to sit down, show a level of toughness, and guard the basketball.
Rohde fouled, shooting three. Cam Hildreth commits the foul. And that is a costly whistle because Andrew Rohde will get 3 free throws here.
The effort's there. Just can't foul a three-point shooter. You know it's tough. You're trailing. He's knocked down a couple of threes here.
This is not who you want at the line, although Rohde misses his first. Usually a terrific free throw shooter at 82% on the season. That rattles home. 10-point lead now for Virginia. Only 1 for 3 on that trip to the line for Rohde. Hildreth goes into 3 Virginia players and draws a foul of his own.
You don't have to tell Cam Hildreth to attack. He's going to get to the paint, does a great job of playing off 2 feet, and draws the foul.
Comes up empty from the free throw line. You can see the frustration from the senior Hildreth.
You don't know if it's confidence from missing free throws. He's had a great game. Or is it fatigue? I mean, as we talked about it, he's expending a lot of energy, not just on the offensive end of the floor. He's chasing either Rohde or McKneeley off these ball screens. And in his wheel action, his nonstop movement from their guards.
Virginia has made their last 3 shots. It's a 9-point Cavaliers lead on the road. Trying to burst Wake Forest bubble. Ames, that rim's out no good. Up ahead, risky pass, it pays off! Trayvon Spillers with a rack attack.
Great defensive possession there by the Deeks. Spillers gets out ahead of the defense and throw it over. Can you continue to string together stops?
They get another one. Virginia's lead is down to 7. Plenty of time for Wake Forest. Sallis splits 2, count it, plus the foul. Hunter Sallis flying through contact.
Great pass there by Spillers. He catches and finishes. And Hunter Sallis reminds everyone why he will be a second-year all-conference guard.
Randolph Childress, Jay Alter with you. With their backs against the wall, here comes Wake Forest. The Virginia 14-point lead is down to just 5. And Hunter Sallis a chance to complete this and 1 and cut it to 4.
Plenty of time. The Deeks have scored 44 points in the paint. This chance at the end when making it 45 points. Plenty of time. They don't need to settle. Continue to attack the paint. But again, they got to continue to string together stops. They've done a really good job last couple minutes here of defending and getting stops. Can they continue?
Wake Forest on an 8-1 run. Virginia's lead has shrunk to 4. Rohde trying to back his way in, uses the window, missed it.
Great job by Fredrickson there, staying between the ball and the basket.
Sallis barking orders, going against Saunders. Leans in and draws the foul. A chance to cut this lead to one possession from the free throw line.
Anytime Hunter Sallis gets that matchup, he waved off the screen. He knows he can get to his spots.
And Elijah Saunders with 4 fouls. Blake Buchanan with 4 fouls. Jacob Kofi with 3. So Virginia has to deal with all this foul trouble in the final 7 minutes here.
If you're Ron Sanchez, you just want to get to under the 5-minute mark. At that point in time, you'd feel comfortable with having one of those bigs on the floor.
And without Anthony Robinson, it's a depleted front court for Virginia, clinging to now a 2-point lead. It's a 10-1 run for Wake Forest, fighting for their NCAA tournament lives here at home.
Virginia needs to get back to moving the basketball.
Kofi draws the foul, and he'll go to the line, where he is 6 for 8 tonight.
Get to your second and third rotations. If you're Virginia, that's been really effective for you, allow you to draw fouls and get open looks. And
Kofi connects on the first. That ends a 2-minute scoring drought for Virginia. Got them both.
Kofi's a really good free throw shooter for a big. He shoots 80%. Nice stroke. Fundamentally sound. Bright future for this freshman.
Virginia going full court pressure here, leading by 4 with 6:38 to play.
This token pressure offering a little resistance.
Sallis already with 20. 2-man game with Efton Reed going to work against the freshman Kofi.
Give it back. He got a big. He got Kofi on, and he allowed him to switch again. You got to identify that.
Going inside, and Wake Forest comes up empty. Andrew Rohde took a timeout as he was falling out of bounds. Heads-up play by the junior Rohde. Head coach Ron Sanchez loves it.
Had he played, they made a change to the rule a couple years ago. You can do that. You can call a timeout. I know Coach Forbes is upset with the call, thinking he was out of bounds, but you are allowed to call a timeout when you're falling out of bounds.
Clearly inbounds.
Yes.
And the timeout was called. Rohde could feel that he was off balance enough that he got the timeout.
It's a great timeout. You don't want to throw the ball in underneath the opponent's rim. You throw that ball in, Wake gets it, they lay it up. Burns the timeout. Critical game right now. You're trying to get the momentum back your way.
Virginia has knocked down 9 threes. Wake Forest only 2. But the Cavaliers dealing with foul trouble. 5 players with 3 or more fouls. Saunders and Buchanan with 4. And Wake Forest, we've said it throughout the night, battling for their season right now. Can't afford a loss.
I thought last possession they blew an opportunity there. Fredrickson, they had to switch. And then Fredrickson takes his defender back, and it allows the guard to get on Hunter Sallis. And he had Kofi on him with 4 fouls.
Virginia 6 minutes away from bursting Wake's bubble. Isaac McKneeley delivers again. His 4th made 3 of the night.
You've got to lock and trail him and force someone else to beat you. Just like Hunter Sallis, you can't allow him to beat you if you're Virginia.
Sallis has a step, pulls up, and hits.
Great job there, coming off the staggers. He's in attack mode, gets to his mid-range. Now they got to string together stops.
How many times can we say it? Offense has not been the problem tonight for Wake Forest. It has been their defense.
And Virginia will be patient when they're in this move of block. They're going to be patient. use the screens. Their bigs are going to set the screens. They're not going to turn it over. They're going to get a shot.
McKneeley, 21 points, pulls up, got it again. Isaac McKneeley, he has taken over.
The most underrated aspect of his game is his ability to score off the bounce. He's an elite shooter. But he can mix it up off the bounce. He has all the moves. He has the crossovers and the pull-ups to make difficult shots.
Hildreth fading away off balance, nothing but air.
It's just not a good shot. It's not the shot you want. And again, we talked about it. Why are you settling?
He forced it there.
Done a great job of getting to the rim. Continue to attack. Now you got to guard. You got to sit down and guard again. Chase him off the screen.
Wake Forest had cut this Virginia lead to 2. The Cavaliers have ballooned it back to 7. Looking for more. Dai Dai Ames. Got it! Dai Dai Ames fires Virginia up by 9.
McKneeley with the catch in 3. You know you got to run him off the line, but guess what? He's got this in his bag also. Hezzy to the mid-range. Virginia pulling away. Defensively against the NC State team. Okay, chalk it up. NC State shot the ball really, really well. I know Steve Forbes is scratching his head because this team has just struggled defensively, and they have hung their hat defensively, and that's been their calling card. This is not his best offensive team. I think every team that he's coached outside of his first year has been a better offensive team. This team is better, more physical, athletic defensively, and it's letting them down here tonight.
Sallis loses the ball. Andrew Rohde has it. Finds Murray. And they'll count it as a goaltend. Wake Forest saying, you got to review this. Trayvon Spillers can't believe it. Was it in the cylinder, or did Spillers cleanly pin this against the glass? This will be the best angle.
That's a good block.
Yeah, that ball's still going up. That's a good block.
I thought it was a mistake by Virginia. Could have pulled it out, milked the clock a little bit. That's a really good block. This should be quick.
That's a clean block. This should be overturned.
Wake will be lucky with they'll be benefit with this call because it's just a sloppy, unforced turnover.
Call on the floor of goaltending has been overturned. White ball with 29 seconds on the shot clock.
So Wake Forest gets the basketball, trailing by 9. Running out of time, though. 3:42 to go. Randolph, you were talking about the defense that really got Steve Forbes' team into position where they belonged in the NCAA tournament. Well, that three-point field goal percentage, best in the ACC, has let them down. NC State 13 made threes on Saturday. Virginia's knocked down 10 tonight.
Well, what happens to that is that they're not guarding the basketball, and it's getting in the paint, it's forcing them into rotations, and teams are hurting them. So there's just not much resistance in general. I mean, Virginia's shooting over 50% for the game. I mean, they're having their way. They're getting any shot that they want.
And Wake Forest only 2 of 10 from 3.
They have not shot the 3 all season long. It's just not a strong suit of this team as Virginia goes to the zone.
Fredrickson, he's the guy who, if you're going to get someone going, maybe it's him. He struggled this season to just 22% from 3, but he had 5 big threes in the win at SMU was the reason they won that game.
And he shoots it so well in practice. It's just a confidence thing now that, he fell in the, got shots to fall against SMU, and he took a quick shot there, and Steve Forbes, no, we don't have enough time left in this game for empty possessions, and can't turn it over and take quick shots.
Hard to believe he's 22% from 3 on the season. Under 3.5 minutes to play. Wake Forest trying to avoid their bubble bursting here at home. Sallis dumps it down. Efton Reed, tough take.
Efton Reed does a great job of just holding his seal. The guards can't penetrate and turn the corner. They know they stop play off 2 feet. They can just drop it off to him at point-blank range. She shoots it with either hand. Got to get stops.
McKneeley, he's had the hot hand. Hits it again. Isaac McKneeley, 25 points tonight.
Just no answer for him. Just no answer. It's just been too easy all night long. He's gotten the ball wherever they wanted.
Clean block. And Virginia, a 9-point lead, 2.5 minutes to play.
Now, Virginia, you don't want to take this shot until under the 10-second shot clock unless it's an easy shot.
Rohde, shot clock down to 4. Can't connect. Offensive rebound. Murray cleans up the spill.
When you struggle all year long with something as Wake Forest has, and we talked about, again, rebounding the basketball. They've been out rebounded on the year. Things like that always rears his head in the wrong time. It's a tough time for the Deeks not to clean up the glass there.
Sallis with 2 coming at the line. What a puzzling stretch for Wake Forest. These 4 games, you lose at home to Florida State. You choke a big lead in that second half, and then you go on the road and beat a really good SMU team, then lose to NC State, and now back at home where you knew you had to handle your business, and time is not on their side. Steve Forbes frustrated, as everybody with Wake Forest is right now. Number 3 Notre Dame on the women's side highlights the final Thursday night women's basketball doubleheader of the regular season. ACC Network tomorrow night. You do not want to miss that ranked doubleheader. 10-point lead for Virginia, under 2 minutes to play. Full court pressure from Wake Forest, trying to rescue their season.
Well, when you're not accustomed to applying full court pressure in only this situation, you're just going. This is what you're trying to do. You're trying to force a steal, hoping that a team gives it to you. But right now, Virginia has 4 guards on the floor. And Kofi, as a good ball handler, they use him to press break, and that's going to force Efton Reed to be involved in that full court pressure, and that's not his strength.
And these Virginia guards have delivered on the road. Ames, Rohde, and McKneeley been outstanding. Now, you could argue this performance is right up there with the Pitt performance on the road as the most complete game Virginia's played all season.
We talked about this before at shoot-arounds, watching these teams, and I said this to you. This team is playing better, and I think it's something that, in talking to Coach Sanchez, he's grown in how things have been for him during the season.
Sallis throws it down, but could it be too little too late? A mountain to climb. A Herculean comeback necessary for Wake. Down 10 with 1:30 to play. Virginia breaks the press. Looking to kill this clock.
Ron Sanchez, like I said, they have been the last 2.5 weeks, this team has been really competitive.
They had won 4 of 5 before losses to Duke and North Carolina. Ames misfires. Wake down to their final bullet. 1 minute to go.
No time to waste. You got to make a quick decision here.
Off the knee of McKneeley. 50 seconds to go. Wake Forest has to foul. For Sallis. Steals it. Behind the back. Up and in. Timeout, Steve Forbes. 1 timeout remaining for the Demon Deacons.
Great defensive play there by Hunter Sallis. Just being aggressive. Great job officiating. It wasn't a foul. Got the steal. Wake Forest got to set their deep.
We're not accustomed to seeing hit 80. In fact, This is only the 15th time in an ACC game where Virginia has scored more than 80 points. They have played 316 ACC games, and this is only the 15th time. Wow. Timeout taken by Virginia.
Great job there. You're trying to tie him up. You get the trap where you're wanted in the Coffin's corner, forces Virginia to burn the timeout.
Both teams with one. Virginia with one timeout remaining. Wake Forest is out of timeouts. 38.5 seconds to go. Still to come, our ACC triple header continues out west with SMU taking on Cal. SMU, another one of these bubble teams down the stretch of this season.
You're Coffee and you catch it again, you got to turn and face. You can't turn your back against the pressure. You want to try to get the ball in Isaac McKneeley's hand.
What a performance. 10 of 14 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. McKneeley the inbounder, and he left it short. Stolen away. Wake, the door slightly cracked. Hildreth can't hit the 3. They come up empty on a golden opportunity, a gift on the inbound pass.
Great opportunity there.
The senior Hildreth crushed. He knows how important this game was to Wake season.
They all do. They know what's at stake, and you can see the fans there. Everyone here knows. That's his mom there, and Hunter Sallis' mom, she knows. Everyone's been talking about it all week, and again, as bad as they feel right now, they've got to find a way to pick themselves up. Still have a chance, but right now, you got to go to Cameron and you got to get one. It's just as simple as that. And that, as we know what they've been and what they've shown all year long, but it's one game, one afternoon. You got to figure out a way to get it done.
Isaac McKneeley, a season high, 27 points tonight. Has delivered a huge blow to the Wake Forest resume. Sallis misfires from 3. Hildreth, a strong offensive performance, 22 points for him tonight. But they didn't do enough defensively. The jump ball, possession arrow with Wake.
It's a bad mistake there by Rohde. He was expecting the foul. Great job by Wake defenders identifying that. They get the arrow.
They just run out of time.
Tied them up, yeah, just time is not on the Deke side. And they've got to do a deep soul search here, because this is 3 out of 4. And 2 of those 3 are at home.
Into Afton Reed, hands off. Johnson off the mark, and Virginia throws a dagger at Wake Forest's NCAA resume. The bubble may have popped tonight in Winston-Salem as the Cavaliers come in and win it 83-75.
Great performance by Cavs.